What's going on, guys? Wayne here and welcome to another video, and I'm bringing you some Assassin's Creed, and today we are on episode 5 of my Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag wishlist. Now today I want to talk about missions, because obviously missions are the driving force of any game, you know, objectives that need to be completed, etc, etc. And so far, what we've heard from Assassin's Creed 4, about Assassin's Creed 4 from the devs, is that they are taking a lot of inspiration from the original Assassin's Creed, which is why I'm bringing you this particular gameplay, where the missions are open-ended. By open-ended, I mean you get told to kill this person, and it's up to you to do. You can either do A, B, C, and D, or you can just jump from A all the way to E, kill him as quickly as possible, and then be done with it. And I like that. That's already been said, so there's no real need to talk about that too much. But another thing that they've also said, and that they've said several times, is that they have tried to construct a world and missions that go alongside it that pull you off the main path. And related to Assassin's Creed 1, I think it does that pretty well. I mean, considering you obviously have all the little missions that you need to do to gather information, but then you've got protecting civilians, and so on, and all that stuff. So when it gets into AC4, like when they're talking about, oh, we're going to drag you off, we want you to go off the main path, I don't really know how it could be done, based on what we've seen. You know, like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 were good at keeping you busy in between each mission and so on. When it got to Revelations and 3, I don't know about you, but I wasn't really that interested in completing side missions and doing all these other little things, you know, and that's disappointing, which is why I think, not just in terms of Assassin's Creed 4, but just overall in the AC series, Ubisoft really need to look at some other inspiration to help deliver great side quests and side objectives that are more than enough to drive you off the path and keep you busy for a long time, as well as navigation, as well as, you know, being teased about, or to navigate this area and look at this area. You know, like even now there are some places in the frontier where I just haven't even stepped foot in, basically because I'm not really compelled to look there. Now, the one inspiration I think they should seriously look at is Elder Scrolls, i.e. the most recent one, Skyrim. There are countless side quests and sub-objectives that are at the player's disposal, you know, and it's up to them to seek them out, and and after they've found them, if they choose to go with them and complete them, they can do. And I honestly think following the RPG platform of side quests and missions is a great way to go, and especially with a series like Assassin's Creed, it can thrive in that kind of format, in that kind of role-play, open world, here's the world, enjoy it type thing. And then when you've had your fill of side quests, which are great in variety, you know, you can help this person, and do this and do that, and they're all different, rather than just, oh, here's three missions, here's 3 side missions for you to go collect animal skins, or 3 side missions where I go out and collect something in the frontier. Like, there's always repetition in Assassin's Creed side missions, from AC2 onwards, like all the little, you know, couriers and beat 'em ups and all the rest of it. And I've got nothing wrong with that, but the fact is, it's getting a bit boring. So they need serious variety. That each side mission needs to be one in its own, and each of these side missions need to be fleshed out as if it's its own full mission, not just a little mini thing to keep you busy, or just a little thing just to hunt for the completionist, and the 100% synchronization. So yeah, you see what I mean when it comes to side missions. And plus, one thing that I would also find interesting is adding more in DLC, and not necessarily as part of DLC packs. I'm talking about a progressive world where side quests and side missions come in and come out. Like, you can only do a set of side missions, at this point in the game. So it's like, all right, it drives me away to do them, while at the same time, whilst the life cycle of the game is progressing, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, they can release more side missions. Rather than just making DLC, which they'll clearly do, they can also work on these side missions and help pull me back into the world a lot more, rather than just having one single DLC story which I can have completed, in a couple of hours. Over time of the life cycle, they can just throw a few set of new fleshed out missions there, a few little fleshed out side missions there. And I really think it'll be enjoyable, and things like that, those little extra nuggets which will allow me to, to thrive in this world, will keep me going back. It's definitely Assassin's Creed is definitely a game which can thrive and really do well if it's considered more as an RPG. An RPG with standard single player, third person narrative points. So obviously you've got the main game, and the main story and all the rest of it. And yeah, it's not a role-play game, but you see these successful RPG and role-play elements from Elder Scrolls, for example, as always the example. That is the primary example, but obviously you've got other RPGs which really do well in this format, with these hundreds of side missions and side quests. For example, look at Skyrim. You've got the Brotherhood, the Brotherhood, I think the Brotherhood of Assassins, that's just a side mission. That's not part of the main game. That is a side mission, but just that mission alone could be qualified as a full DLC, in some circles, because the story is big enough and complex enough, and there's a lot to do in that, just in that one particular side mission. And Ubisoft really need to look at that, and I really think it will do well, and it will thrive as I get an air assassination. Finally, I've been trying to get an air assassination on the on one of the primary targets for ages, and it's only recently I've been able to actually get it right. Yeah, sorry, I digress a little bit. Actually, no, I don't, because the point of this gameplay, the open-ended nature as well, that I previously mentioned, can, they've set up the foundations for a potential big, massive open-world RPG. Hundreds of side quests, all varied and all full of variety and unique, and it can seriously keep you going, and it can seriously be entertaining. Like, I can't tell you how many hours I've sunk into Skyrim, or even Oblivion, for example, which follows the same background. Other MMOs, for example, World of Warcraft, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, all these big, well-produced games, that focus heavily on side missions as well as the main campaign. And side missions, if they're going to seriously try and pull you into this world of being a pirate in Assassin's Creed 4, really, really need to be highlighted, and something unique, new, and original has to be done to really change up the format of Assassin's Creed, because we're getting to a point where, yeah, it's getting a bit repetitive. Like, even now, people are going, after Revelations and AC3, it's like, yeah, it's getting a bit boring. And, well, as I just said, people say it's getting a bit boring. And so, yeah, it's clearly evident that Ubisoft really need to change up the format, which is clearly what they're trying to announce. I'm just trying to explain and talk about a way to change the format even more to the way they're doing it, because they're changing the format back to the way AC1 did it. Obviously, with the open-ended nature of the missions, you basically have 10 guys that you have, 10, I think, is it 9 or 10? You have a ton of guys on a list, and basically the game is to fucking kill them all. It's that simple. It's a simple objective. And then everything is fleshed out in between, so you have the brilliant conversations between Altair and Al-Mualim, the conversations between Altair and the den leaders, and then obviously the targets themselves. All this stuff is fleshed out in simple conversation, and these conversations are obviously just small little nuggets of, of what you can do. But imagine those kinds of conversations, those great cutscenes, and those big things that we've come to know in Assassin's Creed are fleshed out and done just as well in side quests. And great side quests which introduce characters that I really care for, and introduced objectives that I really do want to complete, rather than just, oh, here's a set of letters, here's some packages, go and deliver the bastards. No, I just don't think it would be right for the character either. You know, Edward Kenway being a pirate, you know, what kind of pirate would take up a side quest of, take up a little mini mission of, here, go and deliver these letters, here, go and get me some whale blubber, you know, like, it has to be done right to the degree where there has to be major incentives for, you know, a pirate that, you know, first and foremost really cares about number one, you know, like his plunder and what does he get out of it, and just that sort of, oh, mission, oh, here, do this for me, do that for me, repetitive missions, I just don't feel would work in AC4, given the era and what they're trying to promote this game to be, which is the ultimate pirate game. So yeah, you can see where I'm coming with a lot of this stuff, and I'm kind of starting to repeat myself. But yeah, I'm going to end it right here before I get back to the Assassin Den for the little outro dialogue, which I was talking about, which are just great. I love those little pieces of dialogue in Assassin's Creed, rather than just, you know, cutscenes. I think it was just something about, because the camera is locked on, it really allows you just to stop and listen to the conversation, and you really hear some in-depth philosophy and ideology, iconography, and philosophy. You really hear some great ideas through these really simple constructed cutscenes. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it there. Please tell me what you think. Do you really think Ubisoft should, you know, pay attention to what Bethesda is doing with the likes of Skyrim and Fallout, you know, and really start developing, you know, the idea of side missions and side quests, you know, to really keep us in that world, rather than just complete the single player, be done with it, and then spend the rest of the game's life cycle delved in the multiplayer. I really want to stay in the single player. It's just up to Ubisoft to really work at trying to keep me there, and I think the best way to do that is compelling side missions. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Click the annotations on the screen right now for more videos that I've done, and as always, take care, be safe, and I will see you in the next one. Love y'all, guys. Way out. Peace.